Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Nutmeg Sports. 2016 is off and running here on the HAN Network. No, this is not the first show that we've done here on the network. This is show number 2, but nonetheless, first Nutmeg Sports for the year with Donald Eng. I'm Rob Adams. Busy day, busy week coming up. Don, we've got a lot to do. We will get to the athletes of the week in just a moment, but again, busy week right off the bat to start the year.
Busy week starting with tonight, actually. We've got hockey, we've got wrestling, we've got a whole lot of things that we don't, some new things for us that are really going to be exciting. So it's going to be tough, but we're definitely looking forward to it.
Definitely looking forward to it indeed. So hockey later today, as we mentioned. But with all that said, before we go there, let's jump into the athlete of the week.
We can. On the boys' side, the athlete of the week is Justin Jordan. Darien basketball player. Jordan had 3 3-pointers and 13 total points. The Blue Wave defeated Trumbull 59-55 last week. Jordan got an amazing 2,962 votes. That is 40% of the vote. There were 7 nominees. Jordan pulled down 40%. So congratulations, Justin Jordan, Darien basketball. 2,962 votes, good for 40%.
All right, we were talking about the band Rush before the show. Where am I going with this? Subdivisions. What's going on at Darien? You've got Justin Jordan, your basketball player, with 2,900 votes. David Voigt only got 7% of the vote. The fine Darien goaltender. I smell a rat. What's going on at Darien? Let's investigate.
I don't know. I think, who knows? Darien hockey, number 1 in the state, not getting a lot of love in the polls. That's kind of surprising to me, but certainly Darien basketball riding high right now. At least Justin Jordan is.
We're kidding. I'm not advocating clicks by any stretch of the imagination. Jamaica Green Younger of Brian McMahon boys basketball came in a distant second, 18 points back with 1,599 votes. So congratulations to both of them. To the ladies' side we go. Don, take it away.
The winner on the ladies' side, Gianna Bruno, New Canaan ice hockey. So a lot of love for the girls' ice hockey in New Canaan. Gianna had 2,170 votes. That was half of the votes cast. Bruno actually shut out. All right, hang on one second until I can find her here. Bruno actually shut out Darien. Who did? Oh, hold on a second. I'm woefully unprepared here. Sophomore, second-year varsity player for the Rams. Shut out Greenwich on Monday. She plays wing, scored the second goal during a power play in the third period, then iced the game, assisting on Brooke Dean's goal in the third period as the Rams shut out the Cardinals.
And of course, they shut out Wilton Norwalk last week as well, so they're off to a very good start. And right now, you are looking at New Canaan and Darien with Ridgefield in the FCAC girls ice hockey picture. And no, not really a surprise, because New Canaan girls ice hockey's been good for a couple of years. Darien is the the cream of the crop, and Ridgefield's been right there as well. So it makes for some good girls ice hockey among those teams just to get things started.
Yeah, it's a great to see. It's a very competitive year. We were talking about how this year you just don't know what to expect in some of these races. Right now, Darien leads the way with a 4-0 record in the FCAC, 5-1 overall. New Canaan second place, 5-0 overall, 3-0 in the FCAC, and Ridgefield with a 3-1 record, holding down third place, 3-3-1 overall. So yeah, it appears to be a lot of parity, at least in the top 2 or 3 teams at the top of the FCAC girls ice hockey standings.
So congratulations to both of them for being athletes of the week. We dive in now. I believe this is week number 3 already of the winter season. And again, as we hit January, in some ways you're almost at the quarter pole for some of these sports, and you're beginning to look, through January, and really you don't make it through the month of February. The season's over mid to late February.
Right. It feels like the season's just got started, but if you look at a lot of these hockey teams, they've already played 6 games, and in a 20-game season, you're a third of the way home, or a quarter at least, particularly with league playoff games. So yeah, it's as the saying goes, it can get late early.
Yeah, it really does, that's for sure. In fact, a quick look at the boys' ice hockey situation, and you're right. I mean, we're already flying right through the season, so, so it goes. And we'll get more into hockey a little bit later on, but we do want to tell you about these athletes of the week for week number 3. We will start with the men. Charlie Kane of Fairfield Ward Wrestling gets us started. He scored his 100th career victory when he pinned Darien's John McCann in 37 seconds at 145 pounds during a home meet on Wednesday. A senior co-captain, he went 3-0 on the day to improve his career mark to 102. That's 100 wins, 2 losses, which of course is done in anything he does. Kane also won a 142-pound weight class at the George Bossy Lowell Holiday Tournament in Massachusetts on Tuesday. Charlie Kane of Ward Wrestling, that's quite a career right there.
It is quite a career, matched almost pin for pin by Tim Kane, the second Athlete of the Week nominee. Tim Jr. also reached 100 victories for his career when he pinned Greenwich's Jonathan Loya in 48 seconds at the 132-pound weight last Wednesday. Kane went 3-0. He is now 102-6 for his career. He also won the 132-pound weight class at the George Bossy Lowell Holiday Tournament up in Massachusetts. He had 5 pins during his run to the title.
Now to West Hill basketball, we bring in Tyrell Alexander. He scored 26 points, had 12 boards to lead West Hill by 3 in overtime against Bassick on December 28th. He was also 10 of 13 from the foul line. Tyrell Alexander of West Hill.
Our next nominee is Tristan Haviland, another wrestler out of Trumbull, a junior. He defeated Foreign High's Gino Esposito by a score of 5-2 in their 113-pound match to break a 32-all tie and give the Eagles a victory over the Lions. That also propelled them into the Trumbull Duels championship match. That was on Saturday. 8th-ranked Trumbull defeated number 1 Newtown for the title. Haviland was 4-0 on the day. Tristan Haviland, junior wrestler from Trumbull, is your next nominee.
Now to St. Joseph Ice Hockey. It's Ryan Wilson. The goalie had a fantastic game on Saturday, 40 saves as he earned the shutout. The Cadets shut down Notre Dame of Fairfield 3-0 at the Bennett Rink. The game was scoreless until St. Joseph scored at 11:34 of the second. The Cadets added 2 goals in the third. St. Joe's, don't sleep on them. Very good team. Ryan Wilson is their goaltender.
And Connor Harkins is a fine basketball player for the Greenwich Cardinals. Harkins, your next nominee, MVP of the Centaur Holiday Classic. Greenwich won the tournament last week. He scored 21 points, including 5 3-pointers in an 80-40 victory over Cheney Tech in the first round. He then had 26 points in a 54-41 win over the host school Woodstock Academy in the finals. Connor Harkins, your next nominee.
I believe Jack Williams of Welton basketball is on our list for the second week in a row. He scored 21 points and had 5 steals as Wilton defeated Colby Cathedral 69-53 in the championship game of the Hoops for Heroes Holiday Tournament in Newtown. In the opening round, he had a 3-pointer with 36 to play to give the Warriors a 56-55 victory over Staples. Williams finished with a team-high 17 for Wilton.
Sam Knowlton, a senior Darien ice hockey player, was the 4-star general for the Blue Wave defense, which had 2 shutouts by identical 8-0 scores last week. Darien beat rival New Canaan on Tuesday, then skated past the Norwalk McMahon Co-op on Wednesday. The Blue Wave is 4-0 with 3 shutouts on the season. The defense has allowed just 1 goal in 180 minutes of play. Sam Knowlton, Darien defenseman, senior, is your next nominee.
We will see the Blue Wave in a couple of hours, in fact. Finally, George McMahon of New Canaan Ice Hockey. George had a hat trick as he led the Rams to their first victory of the season, 4-3 over Staples West and Shelton, the co-op, on Wednesday. Then he scored the game's first goal during a 1-on-1 opening period, a 1-1 opening period, and had back-to-back goals in the second period to give New Canaan a 3-1 lead. That is George McMahon of New Canaan Ice Hockey. So good luck to all the guys. We've got the gals to talk about now.
All right, on the girls' side, your first nominee is Shania Osborne, Fairfield Ward basketball. Shania scored 18 points and had 14 assists in Ward's 38-26 victory over Ludlow to earn MVP honors at the Todd Berger Holiday Tournament. She had 25 points, 12 rebounds in the first-round win over Ram. That was a 68-36 win over Ram. Shania Osborne, Fairfield Ward basketball, your first nominee for Athlete of the Week.
We're staying in basketball with Alyssa Brunig. She scored 11 points in a first-round win over Bethel High and had 15 points, including 4 from what we like to call Petula-Clark land, better known as downtown.
Where all the lights are bright.
That's right. So 4 from downtown. That was a thing we did before the show, so folks, sorry. That was a 64-39 win for Trumbull over Amity Woodbridge in the Massac Holiday Tournament Championship game. Bad jokes and puns aside, Alyssa Brunig of Trumbull High, 11 points, 4 from downtown. She's your next nominee. Don.
Your next nominee is Tiana England from Stamford. England earned MVP honors as the Black Knights won the 11th annual Paul Cooksoe Memorial Tournament at Stamford High. She scored 11 of her 20 points in the final 5 minutes and 20 seconds, helping Stamford beat Scarsdale, New York, 49-35 in the championship game. England will play collegiately at St. John's University. She also scored 20 points in the Black Knights' 56-21 win over city rival West Hill in the opening round. England was named the tournament MVP. Tiana England, Stanford basketball.
We move to track and field now for Bridget Chiaravel, who twice broke the meet record in the 55-meter hurdles during the annual Wintergreen Invitational held Saturday at the Moore Fieldhouse at Southern Connecticut State University. She raced to a time of 8.81 seconds in the prelims, beating the old meet record of 8.85. She also then bested the mark with a time of 8.67 in the final and was second in the 55-meter dash in 7.68. Don.
Your next nominee is Riley Ellsworth of Greenwich. Ellsworth is a sophomore forward. She scored 2 goals and had 1 assist as the Cardinals topped the Fairfield co-op team 4-1 on Saturday. Ellsworth opened the scoring with a goal at 6:41 of the second period. After Ward tied the game, Ellsworth put Greenwich in front for good with another tally later in the second frame. She also assisted on Paige Finneran's third period score, which gave the Cards a 3-goal advantage. Riley Ellsworth from Greenwich.
Staying in Greenwich for our final nominee is Kim Kokenmeister, a sophomore point guard from the basketball team, named the MVP of the Center Holiday Classic at Woodstock Academy last week. She collected 14 points and 6 rebounds in a 95-31 win over University in the opening round and added 10 points and 4 steals in a 72-43 win over Woodstock Academy in the final. Kim Kokenmeister of Greenwich basketball. There are your nominees for the Athletes of the Week. HAN Network FCAC Athletes of the Week nominees. Get to voting at live.han.network, and you too can receive the honor and prestige of saying to your friends, I was the HAN Network FCAC Athlete of the Week. We'll let you know who wins next Monday.
And you know, I'm really thrilled to see the level of participation in these polls. I mean, you know, like 3,000-4,000 people casting votes. That's just great to see. People being that involved with their school and with high school athletics in general. This is something that I really thought of, that I really think is great to see.
It really is kind of fun. And remember, you're talking about a week in which nobody was around last week. Let's be honest. Right. A lot of people went away. A lot of people didn't feel like thinking about school or athletics, or, you know, some can't because, you know, you got games to play. But some students, you know, some families, they're checked out. It's the holidays. So to get almost 3,000 votes on Justin Jordan, for instance, that's pretty cool.
It really is, you know, and the great thing is, of course, you know, you can vote from wherever you happen to be, on your tablet, on your smartphone. So wherever you go, take the FCAC network and the HAN network with you.
Absolutely true. All right, we are going to pause for a break here. Don and I will get into some other things that we've got to do, including the games that we have coming up today, as well as later in the week. Some good stuff coming up this week, in fact, and other random and sundry thoughts going around in both of our brains. They can be scary places to hang out. Don and I come right back. Nutmeg Sports continues after this on the HAN Network.
Here at the Darien Sports Shop, we are very excited about our newly redesigned men's department. Gentlemen, if you're shopping for work, weekend, or wedding, we've got the latest styles and trends inside our spacious new department just for you. We have vast selections from Peter Millar, Vineyard Vines, Johnny O, Duckhead, Barber, and so much more. And you can even walk out of the store in the new Wolverine 1,000-mile men's boot. Conveniently located with free and easy parking at 1127 Post Road, Darien, Connecticut. Or shop us online at dariensport.com.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances. Where community comes first. A place where there's more than one kind of interest. Where automation will never replace consideration. Where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
I'm Kate Chaplinsky. Join us for Coffee Break, weekdays at 11 to get the latest Connecticut news, weather, high school sports, and more. News doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Chaplinsky.
Welcome back to Nutmeg Sports on the HAN Network. Donald Eng alongside me. I'm Rob Adams. Don and I normally here on Monday and Tuesday. Dave Stewart's going to start hanging out probably a little more consistently on Wednesdays, which is cool as well. We get Mike Suppy in here. We get Bill Bloxham in here. So, and you know,
cast of characters.
It is a cast of characters. We need to get more of the Ridgefield guys down here as well. You know, you got Tim Murphy up there, Rocco Veluzzo, JB Cousins. Although JB's not a big on-air guy, but JB does a great job. Just, you know, not everybody wants to get on the air, but just to give you an idea of some of the guys who really put a lot of effort into what you see at all the websites and in all of our papers, you know. And Steve Buno, I'm sure I've missed a name somewhere because I'm trying to do it off the top of this thing, which is dangerous.
It is dangerous, but you know, but you make an excellent point though, that you know that just because you don't see someone on camera doesn't mean they're not putting in the work, because there's a ton of people that make it possible for us to do what we do.
Oh, there are plenty of people behind the scenes, and you know, I'm glad you brought that up, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because it sounds like we're patting ourselves on the back, but the last Wednesday's show was something that I drove out of here so proud of, so I hope more people go and check it out in the archives. You want to take a look back at how good 2015 was athletics, and of course every year is good, but to come up with the 15 highlights that we did and broke it down, I was one of my favorite shows of last year, and I knew it would be, but it was just a really solid thing to look at.
Yeah, and you know, and the amazing thing is we have the top 15 highlights of the year, and probably there was about 30 more that we could have put in there. You know, just the effort of winnowing it down was just a remarkable effort, and then getting the audio and the video, linking all that up. You know, I know you put a tremendous amount of work into that, and it was just a lot of fun just to watch a lot of the highlights and listen to them. It was just, it really was a very fun show.
Well, tip of the cap to Eric Gendron and to everybody. Kate helped with social media and writing what we did. You know, she wrote it up online, and Marty and Josh, you know, in one form. It was just a really good team effort. And again, I sound like I'm patting all of us on the back, but sometimes we need to step back and go, what we're able to do in the short amount of time that we've done it here, from Hersom Acorn Radio to HAN Radio to the HAN Network to, you know, all these different iterations that we've been, and Joe Forlano, and I know their names I'm forgetting, Sharon and everybody, just the team effort. It's just, so anyway, I'm rambling.
Well, you know, and that's it. I don't know of, you know, when people just ask to do something, the can-do attitude really is contagious, but probably should head on to hockey.
Back to sports.
I know.
Hockey, couple of hours down in Darien. Right now, the Darien Blue Wave look like a machine. What I saw last week as they beat the New Canaan Rams, they beat them, and beat them soundly in a way that I've never seen in that series. Now, the stuff that CT Hockey pointed out to us, he's right on the money. Darien has had the better of the regular season games between Darien and New Canaan. There was that one tie that Mac Wright just laid on his back making saves right down below John Kovac and I, our perspective that day. Josh Fisher, the three of us, looking right down on the rink at the Darien Ice Rink. And Mac Wright was wonderful. Mac followed us on Twitter, by the way, gave us a big shout out, which was really cool the other day. But what I saw, I was astounded. New Canaan's young, I get it. They're trying to make their way back up, and if they're, do I dare use the word rebuilding about New Canaan? I might have to. But Darien is the team in the state right now. They're the best team.
It looks to be Darien. I mean, you could probably make a case for Xavier. Darien right now has beaten Hamden, Fairfield Prep, New Canaan, and the Norwalk McMahon Co-op. Xavier with wins over East Catholic, St. Joseph, West Haven, and Notre Dame of West Haven, and then Notre Dame of West Haven, who plays tonight, with wins over New Canaan, Simsbury, Notre Dame of Fairfield, and Ridgefield. So right now I probably would agree that Darien looks to be the team to beat. Notre Dame, West Haven, and Xavier maybe a half step behind. It looks to be, to my eye anyway, it does look like a three-team race, maybe four if Greenwich can kind of sneak in there. Greenwich also has defeated Xavier, West Haven, and New Canaan.
Oh yeah, do not miss the Greenwich Cardinals, who are playing great hockey. I didn't think they could rebuild off last year and the amount of losses to graduation. And we haven't played that interview yet, and we won't play it today because we don't have enough time. And I'm going to pause for just a moment here. Breaking national news. Tom Coughlin has, and this is CBS Sports, Tom Coughlin has informed his staff that the Giants are making a head coaching change, according to an ESPN report. So it looks like Tom Coughlin officially out with the Giants.
And you know, I'm sorry to see him go. He had a great run. I am a Giants fan. I've been a Tom Coughlin fan since his days at Boston College.
Yes, me too.
And then I thought he did a phenomenal job building the Jacksonville Jaguars into a championship game contender in only their second season. But you know, it's a sad truth that sports in general and football in particular is a game where, as a 70-year-old coach with 25-year-old players, eventually, you know, the time comes for everyone. You know, as they say, the time came for Tom Landry, came for Chuck Noll, and now apparently for Tom Coughlin also.
Well, I will say this, and then we'll roll it right back into local. And again, just because this is breaking now, I hate seeing Tom Coughlin leave. I had the opportunity actually to interview him on the phone one time. It's probably audio I could play sometime here. It's and he had 10 minutes exactly. And my opening line to him, once his PR person put him on the phone with me, I said, "Coach, this is the way I respect you. I made sure I was sitting in my seat with the recorder running 5 minutes before the interview," which he got a big laugh out of.
I'm sure, yes. Tom Coughlin, of course, legendarily saying, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late.
It was a great interview, one of my favorites actually, more for him, not because of my questions, but just I feel bad for him. I don't think he had the horses to work with this year with the Giants, but that's neither here nor there. Greenwich is playing great hockey. That was my original point. We will play our interview from the HAN Network FCAC tour with them, where we won't get to it today, but Greenwich hockey, we could see Greenwich and Darien all over again this year, possibly twice, FCAC and state. Could happen.
Yes, I'm trying to look at the schedule here. Greenwich obviously plays Darien as part of the FCAC schedule. As I mentioned before, Greenwich has defeated Xavier, West Haven, and New Canaan. Xavier has defeated St. Joseph, who is also having a good start to their season, and Notre Dame West Haven. Notre Dame West Haven has beaten New Canaan, Simsbury, ND Fairfield, and Ridgefield, and then lost to Xavier. So these top teams, you know, in the upper half of that Division I hockey bracket, they appear to be pretty closely matched. I would put Darien maybe a half notch above the other 3 or 4 teams, but you know, that's the beauty of hockey. You know, you just never know. A hot goalie can carry you a long way.
So we will see Darien and Notre Dame West Haven later today, and I like Notre Dame West Haven. I think they're a good hockey team. I want to see if they can stay with the Blue Wave today.
Yeah, I mean, my guess is they can. I do think Darien is a little bit better. Darien, as we mentioned, has beaten New Canaan 8-0. Notre Dame also beat New Canaan by a 4-2 score, and then Notre Dame beat Ridgefield by a 4-0 score. So you know, it's, as I said, it's really tough to make a call. I think Darien's a little bit better, but you know, Notre Dame doesn't really take a backseat to anybody in Connecticut.
They will play, by the way, at the Dorothy Hamill Rink on January 18th at 3:30, and they will play again Monday the 15th. In fact, that might be a game that we wind up on our schedule, of course, online, and you're hearing me kind of talking out loud right now. We've got another game lined up later that night, but if we can possibly get that game on the air, we will. One thing I want to point out, and I'm going a little off script here for a moment. I mentioned this a couple times during our game at the Darien Ice Rink last week. You know, we really strive, and Don's welcome to join me in on this. We strive to give you the best camera angles, the best everything we can, and certain facilities, for lack of a more graceful term, can't accommodate us in one form or another. You know, in Darien, the angles are difficult, and you certainly want to make sure you can get the crowd into the building. So we've figured it out at Darien. Greenwich is a different issue right now because obviously we don't work off of satellites, or, you know, we work off internet, and we have to be able to connect. Right now we can't connect at the Dorothy Hamill Rink. So if you look at the schedule and you say, holy cow, why aren't they? That's the explanation I'm trying to give to you.
Right, and you know, we've come a long way. Still a lot to be done, but you know, obviously, when we bring a game, it's the best game we could, given the circumstances that under which we operate, and some of it's the facilities, some of which is internet access. You know, we obviously can't get everywhere, but you know, we're going to bring you the games we can.
Absolutely true. Got a couple minutes left here on this edition of Nutmeg Sports. Time has already flown by, Don, but you know, I saw that Game Time, and they do such a great job. I know technically they're competition and all and blah, 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 but they put out the
We love you, Sean.
We love you, Sean. We do. Girls basketball poll is out, and to be honest, you look at the top part, you're going to say, well, not worth talking about, guys. Not really. Well, we are Nutmeg Sports, so we're covering the state, but they feel the voters feel Capital Prep is the #1 team, followed by Mercy and Norwich Free Academy. Don, number 4.
Well, what's interesting, Farmington is number 4. I just wanted to go right back to the top there for a second. Capital Prep 3-1 got 12 of the 18 first place votes. Although Capital Prep is 3-1, second place Mercy, Norwich Free Academy, Farmington, New London, Greenwich are all undefeated, 2-6. Mercy, Capital Prep's one loss was to really a national power, Bishop Laughlin of New York. Capital Prep lost to Bishop 60-52, and then defeated University 76-30, and then St. Patrick's of New Jersey 65-52. The Capital Prep has not lost to a Connecticut opponent since 2012, so they're definitely playing what I would call a national schedule with some of these power teams.
They are so good. To round out the 10, you got Greenwich at number 6, but you've got Fairfield Ward at number 7. So, you've got 2 FCAC teams right there in the 6 and 7, and that's where it makes it, even more relevant to us here. With Cromwell, New Fairfield, and South Windsor rounding things out, you're saying, where's Ridgefield? They dropped out along with Morgan.
Yeah, and then looking at the schedule also, we have, Greenwich, you had mentioned, is 4-0. They started the season with wins over Darien, New Canaan University, and Woodstock Academy. But now their schedule ramps up a little bit. The Cardinals will now play St. Joseph tomorrow. St. Joe's, the defending state Class M champion, and Fairfield Ward, 4-1. They lost to Norwich Free Academy this week, but they have defeated Brantford, Norwalk, Ram, and Fairfield Ludlow. So, definitely fun times in the FCAC on the girls basketball side. So should be some good games coming up in the very near future.
And just like that, 30 minutes flies right by. How about that?
Hard to believe, isn't it?
Busy week coming up. As I said, we've got the hockey game coming up at 6 down in Darien. So it looks like John Kovac is sliding in alongside of me. Frank Granito will be along for the call as well. We're going to get you back down to one of these games, by the way.
Oh, I'll be down there. Eric Gendron and I have been working it out as we speak.
I noticed, although he's trying to get you on the technical side of things. I like you on the on-air side of things. So Gendron and I will go outside. We'll resolve it like men.
It's good to be in demand.
So we'll get Don back in the mix as well. I just heard Eric threaten me. I hope management took note of that. And beyond that, tomorrow, back with Nutmeg Sports. Wednesday, we'll be down in Trumbull. Thursday, we will go for our first basketball game of 2016. Danbury and Norwalk. Norwalk's going to bring a game. Danbury's been pretty good, but we're going to have a game that night. I feel pretty comfortable. Friday, we'll take the break. Saturday, doubleheader action. St. Joe's and Trumbull down at Fairfield University. Looking forward to that.
Right, the fundraising classic there with the doubleheader with the boys and the girls should be a great time, great atmosphere. Definitely looking forward to that.
Again, the schedule online at live.han.network. But with all that said and done, that will do it for this edition of Nutmeg Sports. See you tomorrow, partner.
All right, we're out of here.
All right. Thanks to A.J. Simonowski for ably running the controls because he's a professional, no amateur running the controls today. Love you, Eric. That'll do it for Nutmeg Sports. For all of us here at the HAN Network, I'm Rob Adams. Eric is telling me we're all #1. See you tomorrow. And we'll see you at 6 o'clock for hockey right here on the HAN Network.